This article that I have pulled up here is more or less just window dressing for everything that I've been talking about for the past, I don't know how long now. I guess since probably the election. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, with everything getting purged right now, I think everybody's timelines have just been moved up, and kind of need to know what the fuck to do going forward, because after you've seen, well, the video today on Twitter that was it's about an hour old now, where it's, for all intents and purposes, Trump's concession speech. And some people who were just kind of jumping from one boat to another, just kind of grifting away the time, are just saying, oh, he sold out the base, oh, he wasn't going to march on the Capitol. Did you actually think that's what was going to happen after the rally yesterday morning, after Trump had 100,000, 200,000? I don't think we're ever going to get an accurate estimate of the people that were there in Washington, but all of those people there, yeah, no, exactly. If you were to take anything, and that is something that most Trump supporters have learned, you don't take the president literally. You just look at what he has to say and deduce your facts from there, okay? And if that makes me a part of a cult for reading between the lines, then I don't know, fucking where's the Kool-Aid, pal? No, I think that just makes me a rational human being by understanding that, yes, words get mixed up sometimes. Not everybody is quite as precise in their speech as they need to be. You have to look at actions, and then you can judge what people are actually saying. You don't do it the other way around, because if you do it the other way around, you end up in these totalitarian states where you have political directors saying tweets about, yeah, Trump movement needs cleansing. And no, I don't think so. Fuck. Back in 2016, I was thinking that, you know what, maybe the Democrats would take a step away from this moment and refigure themselves and step back and take a look at what they've done in front of them. But instead, they just doubled down days later, not that long after, when there was the meeting, the DNC, they all met and everybody was just blaming white people. We should have seen that as a moment where, a lot of people pointed it out, it was just a moment where people knew that the double standard was coming, that the doubling down was coming, but you didn't quite expect the wrath to be as vicious and as quick as it has been. But they've been emboldened. The Democrats have been emboldened, and now with them being in control for the next 2 years, totally and completely at the federal level, the state level, the states still have a ton of shit that they can accomplish and they can do. That is the great part about the United States, okay? The United States. States have a lot of rights, and a lot of the problem that we've been forced into right now is that everybody is attributing everything bad and leaving out everything good that Trump can accomplish at the federal level, okay? A lot of what can be done at the federal level doesn't really affect your day-to-day life. It is mostly in charge of interstate matters and foreign policy, okay? Things that affect the entire country, and things that affect the relationship between the United States and multiple countries around the world, okay? That's why Trump didn't get any credit for the Middle East peace deals. What is there, 4 or 5 of them right now? Everything between Israel, United Arab Emirates, Kosovo and Serbia, that's adjacent to the Israel deal. Bahrain is a part of the Israel Pact. I do believe that there's something in there with Kosovo. But that's what the president's supposed to do. He's not supposed to go in there and make sure that your individual life is properly tailored and that you're put on the right track. That is for your parents to do, okay? And that's what all of these people that are calling for bigger government, for more handouts, to lock it down, to make sure that everybody's safe all the time. That's what they want. That's not the job of the president. That's not the job of the government. That is the job for yourself. And that's what I'm saying moving forward, okay? You have these people talking up here on their pulpits, these ABCs, CNNs, run it down, pick your 3 favorite letters. They probably have a network, and they're probably telling you that you're bad for thinking this way. But here's what I'm going to tell you, that him trying to purge the Trump movement is not going to do anything, okay? There's a lot of people jumping off the bandwagon right now, and for reasons I don't quite know. It's mostly people just caught up in the hype of the media right now. The way that everything's being reported, that Trump is wholly and 100% responsible for everything that went down at the Capitol building yesterday, is asinine. Like, realistically, did he ever call for violence? No. Did he say go in there and make your voices heard? No. All he said was, this is the beginning, this is not the end. And he's been very vocal about that. That is something old school Trump has been saying forever. hope for the best, plan for the worst, and that is great advice for everybody moving forward. And like I said, what are people supposed to do moving forward? Well, you have to gather all the tools that you've obtained in the past 4 years for some, 5 years for some, 12 years for some, because this stuff is not new, okay? All the name calling, all of the blame being placed at your feet right now. I think that this goes back to 2007, whenever Obama was anointed by the DNC to be the official primary candidate when he made his big burst on the scene. I would say it goes back all the way then, because as soon as you voiced any sort of dissenting opinion when it came to Barack Obama, what were you immediately called? You were immediately called a racist, okay? And eventually that word went underground because it was overplayed, okay? And then, the Tea Party came up after Obama swept everything. The Tea Party came up. They were by no means a racist organization. They were railing against the tyranny of the government. Sound familiar? It certainly should. And then, yes, they were smeared by the likes of Elijah Cummings and all those other wonderful race-baiting congressmen out there, and they were pushed underground. And this is a part of the MAGA movement going forward. Those old Tea Party members that were just trying to say smaller government, more individual liberty, okay? And then going forward from there, he had to suffer through all of the years of John McCain, Mitt Romney, George W. Bush, all of those guys who weren't really conservative. What did they conserve? They've conserved nothing. That is one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about right now. Oh, okay. Oh, the left tends to win everything. Okay, what have conservatives really conserved? That is a good point. That is a very good point. When was the last time that we actually had a conservative president that we were relatively happy with? It goes way beyond my time alive, okay? I think the last person that we'd stop on and really reminisce about is Ronald Reagan, to be completely honest, okay? He was the only guy in his first term, especially before the old fucking ticker decided to just stop commuting the cogs together up there in his old dome. But in his first term, man, he was really quite a beast, and I'd like to document everything that he did in his first term and in his entire presidency, and to just see the rise and then the eventual unfortunate downfall, because Alzheimer's is a bitch, and you can't really govern that long if you have Alzheimer's, by the way. But it's important to understand that history is repeating itself right now, okay? It might be a little bit more vicious than anybody remembers, but this contestation is, I don't know if it's some sort of a concession in order to just figure out that this shit is a little bit fucked up, regroup for 2024. I think there's something in there as well, because everything is getting laid at the feet of the president and his supporters right now. It is not fair by any means, okay? Like I reported in the previous video, 56 cops who are in the hospital right now. That sucks. I've been a vocal supporter of the police right now, and I've also been a vocal detractor of the police when they go out and enforce all of these stupid lockdown procedures. But at the same time, they don't have to get hurt. They don't have to get hit by any sort of protests that are going on right now. Stay peaceful, but stay fervent in your beliefs, okay? Understand what it is you want from the government, and understand even more so what the government is allowed and what it can do at the proper levels, okay? Understand what the federal government is all about, what your state or your provincial government is all about, and then understand the importance. And that is something that has really, really, really been highlighted by those who are watching in the past election here at the civic level, okay? What everybody in your county does, what everybody in your city does is very, very, very important, and that's going to be even more important going forward into 2024, okay? Because Trump's not going to go away. Okay, the heat is a little hot right now, and that's all media spin right now, okay? If this was any sort of Black Lives Matter rally, if this was any Antifa rally, and we're kind of seeing the evidence of a lot of Antifa infiltration at the moment, but I can't report on things that are just, just kind of out there in the ether at the moment. But as we're seeing, man, if this was just a run-of-the-mill day in May or June of 2020, it would already be out of the news cycle. It would already be explained away as just, oh, these people have grievances and they just need their voices heard. They've been long oppressed for so long by everybody, and they just want their voices to be heard. Won't somebody please hear them at these fiery but mostly peaceful protests? Now, does that sound familiar? Because that sounds exactly like the MAGA folk that have been persecuted for the past, 5 years, ever since Trump came down that escalator. Like I said, I've told you the exact moment that I hopped on the Trump train, okay? When he was being smeared as saying all Mexicans are rapists, I just knew that wasn't true. I went back and I took a look at exactly what he said, and I started to believe that, yeah, okay, what they're doing to this guy is not fair, because growing up with the first name Donald, the only person who was popular at the time when all the kids were talking around the lunch table, it's like, okay, your name's Richard. There's like 1,000 famous Richards that you can go around. Joshua, there's 1,000,000 of those as well. Donald, who's the popular Donald? Donald Trump. Okay, he's kind of a dickhead. He sleeps around on his wife. He's not really somebody that you'd want to grow up to be until you take the media spin out of it, and then you realize that, hey, this guy's actually pretty good, and this guy actually sticks to his word. Okay, when you do your own research, that's what you find out, and that's what I've been bringing here as well. So what you guys need to do moving forward, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do moving forward, because I've heard a lot of people out there saying in the past, well, whatever's happened over the past 24 hours, they're telling you what you need to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing my own research. I'm going to be talking what I perceive to be the truth, whatever the facts dictate is the truth, okay? If it's something that I don't like, fuck, that sucks to be me, but I guess my views are going to change on that position, okay? I am going to become a lot more strict in how I keep myself, okay? That includes diet, exercise, and sleep patterns, okay? They're normally very, very, very good, and they're very, very strict, and that has led me to shed something that I'll talk about in the future. Has led me to shed over, well, just about 200 pounds, if you can fucking believe it. I know you only get to see my giant Irish head, but I've been very successful in transforming my life, and if you guys want any tips on that, that's why I became a personal trainer, and that's why I'm more than willing, and I'm very active in wanting to improve people's life, and that's why I put out what I perceive to be as truth out there. And I'm also very stringent with my cash flow, okay? It was forced out of my job in early October there. It became such an untenable situation where I had to walk away for being just who I am. And who I am is what you see every single day, 3 times a day. And that is not going to stop, no matter the forum, no matter where we go in the future. I'm sure we're only going to continue to grow from here. But what you guys need to do is focus in on yourself, okay? And that is the only way that you're going to be successful. That's what millionaires do. That's what billionaires do. That's what every successful athlete does out there. What they do is they put themselves first. They make sure that their health is in proper order. They make sure that their mental health is in proper order. And by spending too much time on the news, that becomes a very, very delicate situation, okay? What you guys need to do is also, if you want to be successful, by the way, like I said, I'm not telling you anything that you should do, because I think that violates my very, very core. Freedom and speaking the truth are 100% the only way to pursue and proceed through life. So in closing, be true to yourself, do your own research, don't be taking anybody's secondhand information, and get your own physical self, your mental self, your financial self in order, slim everything down, so that if, hey, things get a little too hot, I don't think that they're going to get so hot that we're going to have a fucking war. I think that that's very, very, very unlikely. But in any case, if anything comes to blows, be sure that you are ready to protect you and your loved ones. But I will get off my pulpit here for a minute, and we'll hit you back tomorrow, because I don't know at the rate that everything is transpiring right now what the hell we're going to be talking about, but I have a feeling it's going to be something like this. Anyways, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.